I'm gonna show you how to lose 20 plus pounds fast in 2025. If you guys don't know who I am, my name is Farrell Hakeem. I'm an online fitness coach and I help people get to the best shape of their lives. And I like to get you there as fast as possible. So I'm gonna show you guys exactly how Anna lost 20 plus pounds here in 3 months with me, as well as Jose losing 50 plus pounds. So the number one concept you have to understand to start losing weight fast is caloric deficit. And you've heard it all before, okay? This is nothing new, but it needs to be emphasized because that's exactly how we're going to lose this weight really, really fast, safely, and with balance so you don't starve to death, okay? So what a caloric deficit is you are intaking less calories than you normally would, and you are increasing the amount of calories you're expending than you normally would. So what does that mean? We're going to manipulate our food and manipulate our activity level like this. Food, lower, activity, higher. Pretty simple, right? Eat less, do more. But you can't be breaking down all the time. At some point, you're just gonna completely stop and be stagnant, but we'll talk about that in later videos. Right now, I just wanna get you started, and this is exactly how you're gonna get started. So the two nutritional concepts that you have to understand are calories and macros to lose weight. If you guys just did this, you guys are doing 80% of what you need to change how you look, okay? And for us, right now, in trying to lose weight, we want to decrease the amount of calories and we want to get the right amount of macros to do it. So how do we do that? We want to get less calories than we do our maintenance. So our maintenance calories is the calories that we're eating to sustain that weight that you have right now. And usually, if nothing fluctuates, you're going to track your calories using MyFitnessPal. It's a free app. Just log in everything you can. And now this won't be extremely accurate, but it will give you an estimate and a trend to what you're eating, okay? And we're going to be using this later on as well, so the inaccuracy is gonna be the same, and we wanna be seeing a decrease in the trend of calories, okay? And weight. So what we're doing here is we're going to try to decrease our calories, right? How do we do that? We gotta get our maintenance. And let's say you found out after a week of tracking whatever you're eating without changing it, you've gotten to, I'm eating 3,000 calories a day. Awesome. All you need to do is decrease it by a certain amount. What is that amount? So it really depends. How much can you take this hunger? The more you're going to decrease by, the more weight you drop, but also the more you starve and the worse your mental gets. And the number one thing on how to lose weight is you have to stick to the diet. If you can't stick to the diet and you're starving and you're not mentally there and you don't want to do the diet anymore, then it's not going to work. All right, so a starvation diet, like, green juice diet or something like that, is not going to help you get there. It's going to starve you for sure, but it's not going to keep the diet up so that you can do this in a sustained long period of time. And so that's what we're trying to do here. So what is this number? Okay, I would suggest try to do first a 10% decrease. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to decrease this number, whatever your maintenance calories here is 3,000, by 10%. And 10% of 3,000 is going to be 300. So you're going to be eating a 2,700 kcal diet, all right? You will lose weight for sure, just by how much. Now, at the end of the week, when you get on that scale again, you're gonna see how much you're actually losing by the end of the week. And what we wanna do is we wanna sustain that amount by the end of the month. So every single week, we wanna lose a certain amount. And the safe amount to do is 1 pound per week. If you're a little bit bigger, you can probably get away with losing a lot more, a lot faster, especially if it's urgent. But for the most part, try to lose 5 pounds a month. It's a very good number. You can still lose 10 pounds a month. It just depends on how much starvation you can take. But again, we're not trying to starve here. We're trying to keep this up for a really long time so that we can keep losing and get to the weight that we want. And if we do 5 pounds a month, that's really great. You could probably get to your goal weight 3 to 6 months. Okay, so after talking about the calories, now we have to move on to the macros here. Just really, really quick, I did a breakdown of what it would be if you were 185 pounds, but obviously you can change this number and calculate the way I calculated it. Before we even get to that, I want to tell you guys exactly how much calories are in a single macro. So a macronutrient is protein, carbs, and fats. And you guys have heard that before. If you look at the back of a nutrition pack, you're definitely going to see protein, carbohydrates, and fats. And there are different types of fats, but we're not going to go over that today. We're going to go over just how much they are. And this is just to put into perspective, okay? So a single gram of protein is gonna be 4 calories. Carbohydrates, same thing, 4 calories. Now here's the kicker. Fats, 9 calories. So the more fat that you're eating, the more calories you have. And the thing about fat is, fats take up less space in your stomach, which makes you a lot less satisfied with your food, which means that you're still hungry, you can eat more, okay? And this is bad because per gram of fat is 9 calories. If you're eating more fat, you're gonna still be hungry and you just ate a ton of calories. That's why you eat a lot of chips or like a fatty burger and all these things, and it's like, oh, you feel good for the moment, but you don't feel so satisfied. But we'll get into that a lot later. Give me a second. And so here I'm gonna give you the breakdown of each macronutrient on how you can do it yourself and find your macros, all right? And if you can't be bothered and you don't wanna do this yourself, go ahead and click down in the description below, and there is a link there for my one-on-one coaching so that you can set up an application and set up a talk with me. It's completely free, and I'm gonna help you to get in the best shape of your life. But again, if you don't wanna do that, don't worry, I'm gonna teach you exactly how to do it right now. So if you wanna do this by yourself, you're a 185-pound person. Like before, we're gonna stick to the 2,700 calories that we were decreasing by. And now look, now you have your calorie amount and you have your weight, okay? Generally with protein, when you're losing weight, yes, you should be eating a lot more protein. However, I get it. This might be the first time that you're getting into the fitness scene or even nutrition. So just sticking to as close as you can with 1 gram per pound of protein is good enough. Okay, the protein here is going to help you to build muscle while you are losing weight, if you are obviously going to the gym as well. But don't get so stuck on this right now, okay? If you're eating less, that's okay, as long as we're losing weight first, okay? The number one goal here is to lose weight. So what do? I literally just took whatever my weight is and put it right on there. So your protein, you're eating 185 grams of whatever your poundage is, all right? And that's going to take you around 740 calories. And the way I got this number is by multiplying 185 by the protein calorie count, which is per gram, it's 4 calories. So I'm gonna multiply 185 by 4, and I got 740. Same thing with carbohydrates. But what do I do here? With the carbohydrates, generally you wanna eat a lot more carbohydrates because carbohydrates are super important in your body. They're the #1 source of energy in your body. So do not cut them out. You have to be eating them. So you could honestly take your weight and multiply by 1.5 to 3 times your body weight. But for this case, we just did 1.5 times our body weight. So what I did was I multiplied 185 by 1.5 and I got 277.5 grams of carbohydrates. I multiplied that by 4 again because 1 gram of carbohydrates is 4 calories and I got 1,110. So now I was like, okay, at this point I have only fats left and I'm just going to use the remainder of my calories, all right? So I did 2,700 minus 1,850, and that's gonna be the combined calorie amount of the protein and the carbs. And then with that number, I filled in the amount of fats that I need to be eating. And so this is not exactly 2,700, but eating less is okay here. So I did, this number was around 94.4444444444444, and I didn't like that number. So I was like, you know what, let's just stick to 94. And what I did was I took the number of calories that I had left and I divided it by 9 calories. Just take the difference of 2,700 and 1,850, and whatever that difference is, divide it by 9. Okay, so that number was around 840, and I divided that number by 9 calories, and I got 94. All in all, I'm getting 2,696. However, you actually might be eating a lot less calories than this and be fully satiated. I'm gonna give you the concept of the Twinkie and the apple. So let's say we have 6 Twinkies and 6 apples, and they're the exact same calorie amount. And so they're going to be 600 calories per 6 apples and per 6 Twinkies. Now here's the thing, Twinkies are really small and they're very delicious. You're eating them, and then you're like, oh my gosh, these are so freaking good. Like we were saying, if a food has more fat content, you're not going to be more satisfied because fat takes up less space in your stomach. So in this case, you're like, okay, wow, those Twinkies were really delicious. I want to eat more of it, but if I eat more of it, I'm gonna eat a lot more calories. Now here's the thing. I give you 6 apples, you're not gonna be able to finish 2 apples. All right, you're gonna eat the first apple, you eat the second apple, you're like, holy crap, I don't wanna eat any more apples, I'm done with this, and I'm full. So what's that saying? We wanna stick to these 3 foods so that we can possibly get less than this, all right? Now, if you're losing weight, okay, you don't have to stick to this number. You can eat less if you want to. Again, it just depends on how much can you take the starvation, right? But if you're eating all the right things and you're actually getting less calories in this, don't panic. You should be okay. You don't have to reach this number, right? If you're eating less, that's actually better because you're losing more weight, all right? While also being fully satisfied. And these are the 3 foods that you should be hitting every single time that you eat. And it's gonna be your lean proteins, your fruits, and your veggies, all right? Now, we're gonna go from right to left again. Lean proteins, you should probably be eating more white meat. So that's gonna be your chicken, your turkey, and then also some lean fish, all right? Your fruits, again, eat any fruits that you want, and then veggies, eat any veggies that you want, as long as you like them and you can sustain that lifestyle, you're fine. You're probably gonna eat the same 5 to 10 foods anyways in every single week. You're just gonna rotate what 5 to 10 foods are, okay? All right, so that's gonna be it for macros. We're gonna move on to the actual workout part. So there's really 2 things that you could be doing here that counts as this activity, all right? It's gonna be cardio or weights, all right? And there's also sports, but I would avoid that for now, depending on the sport. So we're just gonna be talking about these 2. Which one is better? Which one will yield the most impact for a long period of time? It's gonna be weights, okay, not cardio. But it really comes down to personal preference. If you absolutely hate weights, and it's not because you don't know what to do in the gym and you don't wanna be doing all that, it's just like, if you just generally hate weights, there are so many other things that you could be doing, just like cardio and sports, right? So let's talk about cardio first. What should we be avoiding? We should be avoiding temporarily high impact cardio and high intensity cardio. What does that mean? So that means avoid sprinting, jumping, somersaulting. Hopefully don't do that yet. Why? It's because you don't want to injure yourself while you're doing these things. Not necessarily you can't run, you have the ability to run, you just shouldn't run because you're going to have a lot of impact on your low-bearing joints like your ankle or your knees. So we really do want to avoid that because it's going to take us out for activity for a long time if we do that, okay? And we want to be healthy. So I would say just go ahead and do low intensity, steady state cardio. And what that means is walking on a treadmill, walking outside, as long as it's not so terraneous and it's smooth, or even on an uphill, not a downhill, then you could be doing it and you could do it for a long period of time. What we want is to try to get to 10,000 steps a day. If you do more than that, cool. Doing more steps every single day doesn't really get you to lose weight a lot more. After a certain period of time, you're just gonna stay stagnant and hit a plateau. Now we're gonna talk about weights a little bit. What you should be doing is try to get in 3 to 5 times a week, all right? If you're super busy, go for 3. If you're not as busy, go for 5, all right? And there's so many ways to do this, but I'll make a different video on it, on what is the best training plan, what plan should I be doing, etc., etc. I'll be talking about that in a different video. And if you don't want to be thinking about all that, I can do it for you. Go ahead and click down in the description again for that application so that I can reach out to you and give you the mentorship that you need. 3 to 5 times a week at 45 to 60 minutes. Yeah, guys, you don't need to be in the gym for hours, man. You don't need to be in the gym for 2 to 3 hours. Like, oh yeah, go hard. No, just do it effectively, please. And I'll show you how to do that in a different video. However, this is gonna wrap up my video for today. I hope you guys understand now how to lose weight super, super fast in 2025. So comment down below and tell me exactly how this helped you. Give me a like and subscribe if you like, because I will definitely be putting out a lot more content like this. I also have an Instagram. I give a lot of value there too. Thanks so much for watching the video. Bye.